limit over.
Yes, the stream, I just started it, so if you go on the page, you should be able to see it.
You want legal limit? You got legal limit. Here I am, 1500 watts and a wire, over.
Well, you're about 10 over down here. Normally you're louder, but 10 over. And what are you reading them down there in San Diego there, Craig?
I got Jim S9 plus 5 into San Diego, N6 MUD. Roger, roger. I think I'll leave that dial right where it is.
It's weird how, John, you can be right in that butter zone, and Craig being south of me, and I'm north of him, and you're just in the butter zone there, Big John. So what can I say?
Yep, it's just that happy Goldilocks. What can I say? I'm sure the stream is lagging badly because I'm also have a game open, but the audio should be fine.
It's not that bad. You're S9 plus 10 over, John. You'll get a good strong signal down there.
Hey Scott, November Delta 6 Victor, how are you stopping me?
I'm sorry, I wasn't looking. I'll look at the waterfall again. Go ahead, give me another transmission.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You're a solid S9 and a little bit over. Really good copy. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got the amp working, and John was right. The repair is always much more involved than you expect. I think I have a transfer relay, the open frame relay issue. So I'm going to order some signal relays to replace that.
Yeah, now you're 5 to 10 over, so no problem with that. How do you copy? I'm coming at you from Mission Viejo. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're like 10 over most of the time. When you're over-modulating, overdriving your amp, you're almost 50, 60 over.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part. Go ahead.
When you were overdriving your amp earlier, you were about 50 over, almost 60 over.
I'm really not overdriving my amp. I'm actually, right now, just a hair under legal limit, but everything looks good, so I'm really not overdriving.
But you're always probably one of the best ones in the group as far as great audio, except for John, because he's so local.
Yeah, I'm cheating a little bit.
One thing versus overdriving. Correct me if I'm wrong, John, but I think there is a distinction there.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. With the adaptive pre-distortion systems, it's pretty hard to actually have it overdrive. I mean, it'll fight you tooth and nail. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear any overdrive. You sound great, Scotty.
Yeah, I try to just keep it right under. I've been checking my propeller, and the propeller's looking good, so I don't worry about it. But I give my good friend John the credit for giving me the EQ modifications, so there you go.
Well, God gave you the pipes, man. I just gave you the makeup.
Oh, there you go. The best pipes I ever heard was back in the 1980s, early 90s, and those guys are long gone now on 14178. Those guys had it going, man, and John and United and all those guys, man, they truly were the grandfathers of VSSB and good sounding audio back in the day. And they were all analog too, by the way.
Yeah, I really got a lot of respect for that. When it's just different. It's a lot. I think it's a lot harder to really accomplish that. We didn't have everything we have now, but now that, I mean, it's just changing the goalposts. Right now, we just push further.
Well, now with the technology, it's so much easier to have better audio. I mean, back in those days, you had to work at it. You had an 870 that had stock at 3 kilohertz, and you had your feedback destroyer from Behringer. You had a couple other old-time components. You had to really work and tweak and get it out there to, make it sound really good and get it out there further than 3.0. And then, Tyler comes around, and that guy is just damn brilliant, and worked it a little more, and sooner or later you got guys going out there to 6K, and the ESSB world was alive and kicking into the 90s and the 2000s, and we're now 2023, and look how far we've come, and since I started in the early 1980s.
Yeah, imagine, well, you know what I like to think of with the Anan and Pure Signal, the pre-distortion is like, it's like a little glimpse into the future, like what can be. And it's been out for a while, the technology's not new, and I'm really hoping that we see more adoption and just a further technical kind of, prowess on display. I love it.
Yeah, imagine what will be like 10 years from now, where the audio is going to go, and who knows where we're going to be 10 years from now. It's unbelievable. Who would have thought we'd be here when we were, in the early, mid-1990s? So, anyway, it's still, it's all about having fun, and that's what we do.
Yeah, here. It's Dave, right? Dave in Campbell?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So that's a SB200 as well?
The ampere is an ALS-600, and the radio is one of my other ones, the FM450.
Oh yeah, that's right. The ALS-600. Did it require repair, or what was going on with it?
Oh, so the issue on these, and I hear it's quite common, is they have an open frame relay, and either the mechanics of it can get funky sometimes. You have to go in and tweak it some, or the contacts eventually get kind of messy in between them.
I got it. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the old frame relays for some reason. I guess just the fact that I can kind of watch them work, and if the contacts do get all screwed up, I'll just burnish them with a little piece of paper, just kind of work it back and forth. With the small miniature relays, if it goes bad, well, you just replace it.
Yeah, I ordered the MSJ mod, so it has the signal relay instead. I'd rather do that because, if you're doing fast things, it's much better.
Yeah, understood. What kind of antenna do you have there?
So I'm running off-center stainless steel inverted V. It's 1/8 cables like they use for boat railing.
Okay, I got the stainless steel inverted V, but what was the very last word? The cable, like what?
Oh, it's like the cable you use for boat railing, typically.
Oh, got it. So is it hung in a tree or just off that pole, or?
Oh, so details. Okay, so I'm on a quarter-acre lot. So basically, I have a mast in the center. Mast is about 2/3 towards the front of the lot, and then I've got corners, the trees, both corners. So I have 2 going out in that direction, and then I have 1. So it's a total 3, right? I have 1 going towards the tree directly in front of the mast.
Yeah, cool. It's always wonderful when we can leverage nature. Here at our place in Oakland, we got a lot of eucalyptus trees, so I'm hoping to. Well, I don't know. I'll be experimenting with that some more, but I was just wondering, like, how high off the ground that is at the center.
The height is about just short of 50 feet.
Okay, yeah, copy. And then do you have a vertical or a more DX antenna?
No, mine's not like a DX Commander or something like that, but I haven't done that yet.
Okay. Yeah, I've been thinking about that DX Commander quite a bit actually, because I got a big open spot I think would work really well for that. Scotty, remind me your setup again.
As far as boy, details. So I've got a couple of radios, FD47 and 450, an XT950, and I've got an XT710 showing up tomorrow, which is kind of fun getting audio on. And the pretty much all the UHF, the 1 amp, and that's about it.
Yeah, cool. Lots of Yaesu gear then. Yeah. Scott, N6RRV, are you still around?
I'm still sitting here in the old rocking chair.
What's your antenna setup there again?
From the amplifier, it goes coax out to, let's see, how does James set this thing up? Oh, I got about 30 feet of coax. I'm sorry, about 20 feet of coax going to a bell, and then it's all ladder line. I got about 100 feet of ladder line, and maybe 150 feet of ladder line that goes up high up into a tree, and then I got one wire that goes horizontal in one direction and another wire in another direction. So there you go. The top is about 50, I don't know, 55, 60 feet or so.
Okay, so a doublet then.
Yeah, it's a doublet, and it works really good, and I'm really pleased with it. And it's all camouflage; you can't really see it from the street or anything else.
You work 160 on that?
Don't know. I've never tried it. Probably not. I don't think my antenna's long enough for that. I don't think the legs are long enough.
Yeah, copy.
I don't really hear. Is there anything going on? Any action?
On 160, not a ton.
I don't know if I qualify for the age group to get on 160.
Well, then I definitely don't qualify.
Now, I hear guys talking on 80, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I just wasn't all that, it just didn't grab my attention, so I just never really bothered to chime in. I like 17 meters. I like 20 meters. Don't get on 10 much, but I pick up 20 and 17 really nice, tunes up really nicely. And in fact, I think my amplifier, everything likes 20 meters better than 40 meters.
Oh, wow. Yeah, for me, like 40 is the jam. It works best. I always hear stations really nice and loud, and 20 meters, everyone's so quiet, man.
Oh, my air conditioner just went on. You could probably hear it. The air's blowing through the vents here. I'm going to go turn it off. I'll be right back. N6RRV.
All right, copy. November Delta 6 Victor. How about you? I know you said you've got that inverted V. Do you work much 20 meters?
So what I find is I do pretty well with 40 160 definitely not long enough. And somebody like that, I run something at around quarter to velocity. 160 could be like a longer, resonance, right? I do pretty well with 20.
He's clean audio guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're still talking, but I think your PTT is stuck open.
Or are you talking on it right now?
Peter.
Craig? Well, David, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't think it changes. I have no and
Alright, copy. Yeah, someone's got their key stuck open. Why don't we QSY down 1 kilohertz, because I'm having a tough time.
Kilo 6, charged up whiskey. What frequency?
Yeah, I'm thinking we can just go down 1 or 2 kilohertz. Someone's got their radio stuck on.
Very cool. Like 2, so 7197.
Yeah, that sounds good.
2 accepting by the SDO, WB0, AABM.
Kilo 6, charged up whiskey.
Yeah, I'm copying you.
Alright, cool. You're in Carpinteria, was it?
Nope, I'm in good old Oakland.
Oh, Oakland. Okay, cool. LA here.
Yeah, right on. Was it hot down there today, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I would expect. Actually, it's beautiful this weekend. I couldn't ask for better weather.
Oh, that's nice. Nice.
Just in case people take some time figuring it out, we move down 2 kilohertz to avoid some QRM. This is KN6TYF.
Kilo 7, charged up whiskey.
KN6YF, this is KN6TJB. You sound good down here in Southern California.
Yeah, thanks. You're booming in here. Strongest signal right now.
I think I'm going about 300, something like that. But it seems like the propagation is going that way, over.
Yeah, you're 10 over. We're doing legal limit here. And yeah, good evening to everyone.
Yeah, we're in Southern California area.
The last station that called, where's your, what's your location there in SoCal?
Kilo November 6 Tango Juliet Bravo. Valencia, California. It's in the Santa Clarita Valley, about 40 miles north of Los Angeles, over.
Okay, yeah, copy Valencia. Man, that's cool. You know, I haven't spent a ton of time down there, a fair amount, but I don't know. I guess I'm just a NorCal guy through and through.
Yeah, copy that.
Well, you don't go to LA.
Yeah,
it's just not someplace anybody would want to go.
He's about
But
20 miles,
once you get up to the San Fernando Valley, Santa Clarita Valley, you know, you got nice, quiet neighborhoods, close to the beach, beautiful weather. And then you go into Central Cal, and that's a whole different thing, but it's beautiful too. So. I like the Bay Area as well.
Yep, absolutely. We were just down in Joshua Tree, actually. Just kind of enjoying, a national park, Joshua Tree National Park, which is the only national park that's open 24 hours. I thought that was kind of cool.
Well, actually, it's actually.
Well, I used to do a lot of rock hounding, so I'm out in the Mojave. And the desert's a different place that kind of has to grow on you, but it's beautiful, especially in the springtime.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a national monument, which is a little bit different.
I know there's a national monument. That's the Sand to Snow National Monument. But Joshua Tree is actually a national park.
Okay, I'll take your word for that.
Yeah, I think it became a national park in 1994. But yeah, we explored like the Morongo Basin, what's that called? Pioneer Town. There's a road that goes from there to Big Bear. We kind of did that a little bit. And we were staying out off Amboy Road, well past 29 Palms, out in the Wonder Valley. Desert's a different place. It just, man, it even smells different. Like, not in a bad way. It just, the climate's kind of interesting. It rains, and rain doesn't stick around for long, but it comes through. You get 20 minutes of fairly intense rain, and then another 20 minutes go by, and you'd never know it's 100 degrees again.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've been out there before, wandering the hills, and a flash flood will come in, and you go to high ground, and the water will start flowing, and you'll be surrounded by water, but you don't need to fret because you just wait a half an hour, and then it's gone.
Yeah, and the other station, sorry?
I was saying that, the rain's really awesome and that kind of stuff. And yeah, absolutely, you're right. It's a national park.
Yeah. We also went up to Keys View, which is really cool. You can see all the way into the Coachella Valley, the Salton Sea, Palm Springs. Man, I had a little DMR HT with me, and I could open all sorts of repeaters from there. It was great.
So, if you haven't been to Anza-Borrego State Park, and, is really, really nice. There's a lot of stuff to do there.
Yeah, I've not been, but I'll put it on the list.
And if you put it on the list, look up Fish Creek Campground. If you like to camp and stuff like that. Fish Creek, and you can go up the canyon and stuff like that and do more extreme camping, but Fish Creeks are a really great campground. Awesome place. Biggest, Anza-Borrego is my favorite desert place to do in the winter.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Well, I got both of those noted down here. The list gets longer and longer every year. And, we're fortunate enough we try and take at least one international trip a year, but there's a lot of stuff here in the States too. So, yeah, cool, man. Thanks for the reco.
Yeah, no problem. Where was the last international place you went to?
We went to Colombia. We went to Colombia last November, and then I was going to go, but the wife ended up going to Guatemala a couple months ago. And then before that, we had done Canada, and then England, and then Burma. And then all the other countries in Southeast Asia. We did Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, the Philippines, Taiwan, China. So we're either thinking of the next trip. We might do the Caribbean. I'm not totally sold on that. You know, we've already been to Colombia, which is cool. I know it's not quite the Caribbean, but I would really like to do like Paraguay or Chile, maybe Patagonia, something like that.
Yeah, copy. I've been to Santiago, Chile. I've been to most of the places you said in Asia. I don't know. Yeah, that's cool. Just hit all the continents. I've never been to Africa or obviously you know, whatever the one that has all the ice.
Yeah, Africa is a continent we haven't done yet, although one of our friends, so we have like a friend group that we travel with. There's one, I think there's, yeah, like 2 or 3 other couples, and then maybe 1 or 2 single people. We don't always travel together, but on these larger trips we usually go together. Anyways, one of the people in our friend group, he went to Ghana. He was the first person to scratch Africa off the list.
Yeah, well, until recently, obviously Morocco would be easy from Spain, but not so much right now. But Antarctica, hard.
I was actually looking at that. It's not as hard as you might think it is.
Yeah, that's fair. You can definitely do like a thing where you go up and walk up a mountain or whatever, I guess, right?
Yeah, so the ones that I've seen, at least that would be kind of the easiest thing to do, is you can book like adventure cruises where you leave from Chile somewhere, or maybe Argentina. And then they'll go to the Falklands, maybe the South Sandwich Islands, and then make a port somewhere on the Antarctic continent, and kind of spend 2 weeks going in and out of different ports and making landfall. It's probably a little bit out of our budget right now, but one day, I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, definitely. I think hitting all the continents is kind of a bucket list item, right?
Yeah, the one you got to work on slowly.
Yeah, copy. Kilo 7, Charlie Delta Whiskey.
And this is Kilo November 6, Tango Yankee Fox. How about Michael? Are you still in there? We lose Santa Clarita. What about Scotty or Craig? Or they may not be able to hear each other. Well, the other place we'd really like to do is, who is sending me this stuff? Is more of Europe, like France and Germany. Now the wife's been to France. She's spent time in Nice and Paris and a couple other places, but I didn't go on that trip, so I'm behind.
Yeah, I cover that. I mean, like Paris is cool. It's not as bad as you'd think it was. How about that? Like, most Americans think Paris and France in general is going to be like, a bunch of, jerks. but not so bad.
Yeah, it's cool. It's I don't know, man. Like, traveling just gives you more lenses to view the world through,
Come again?
I said I think traveling just gives you more lenses through which to view the world.
Absolutely, 100%. If you like it, actually, there's a Mark Twain quote about traveling, making people, understand better. You should look it up. I could look it up, but anyways, it's correct.
Yeah, I'll give it a quick search. Maybe I'll ask ChatGPT about it.
Yeah, but Europe, I've been to France, I've been to Germany, a bunch of places, Portugal, Spain, I think Ireland, and Netherlands, and they're just all cool places. It's a really good time.
Yeah, was it just for personal or for work or what?
Yeah, it's mostly for work. But I also tried to plan like extra days, we're going to show up like 2 days early because if we miss it, we're going to be behind.
Yep, absolutely. And man, if you can do that on a ticket that job paid for it, even better.
Yep, that's pretty much it. I mean, sometimes also like on the back end, if it's like we're like, I'm gonna stay 4 days, they're like, okay, and I'm like, well, I'll pay for the hotel for 4 days, and then you'll still fly me home, right? Kind of thing. Because why not? I mean, 4 days earlier, 4 days before.
Yep, absolutely. Every once in a while, either myself or the wife will have some conference somewhere, and just that they'll pay for the flight there and back and the hotel for a couple of days, and maybe we'll extend out the trip, and it's great. We went to Hawaii a couple times on that.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's really a shame what happened in Maui, though.
Yeah.
You been keeping up on that?
I know what's happened out there. I've never actually been to Hawaii or Maui, but yeah, it's just it's kind of a mess, right? Didn't need to happen that way.
Yep. Well, I guess there's a reason for everything, but it definitely seems like a lot of human suffering, and we've actually spent a fair amount of time there in Maui and Lahaina and the Kaanapali coast, so it made me pretty sad to hear about it.
Yeah, I bet, especially if you've been there. Like I said, I've never been there, but yeah, if you've been there, I mean, like, yeah, you're kind of like, wow, I saw that, and wow.
Yeah. Well, give it a few years and hopefully things kind of work out themselves, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like the hurricanes and stuff like that happen, where it's like Louisiana got New Orleans got destroyed, right? Most of Louisiana got destroyed, and I mean, 10 years later, maybe not so bad, but it's 10 years later.
Yeah, that was a big deal. I remember when Katrina came through. I also remember what a disaster the federal response was, and that set into motion, all the changes to FEMA. I mean, even the existence of FEMA and a whole bunch of other things. So, my wife is a safety engineer, and there's kind of this, I don't know if I want to call it like a saying, but there's this like colloquialism, I guess, that a lot of the regulations that exist today, they're all written in blood, and it's true.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you're right. I mean, like things could be better, but they're also, well, I mean, we're all human, right? So I don't know. Sometimes people underestimate stuff, and I don't think the government should, but sometimes everybody does, and shit happens.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, hey, it was nice chatting with you. I'm going to stand by here for a little bit. And if you're still on a little later, I'll catch you. Otherwise, sometime down the band.
Alright, Kilo 7, Charles, that's whiskey.
Yeah. Take care, Chris. This is Kilo November 6 Tango Yankee Fox.
Kilo November 6, what was it?
Tango Yankee Fox. And nice domain on your email, by the way.
Alright, Kilo November 6, Tango Victor Fox, Kilo 7, Charles, Delta Whiskey, over.
Yeah, it's a TYF.
Yeah, Tango Yankee Fox. Kilo November 6, Tango Yankee Fox, Kilo 7, Charles Delta Whiskey, out.
Alright, 7-3.
area of northwest winds 2 area of northwest winds 25 to 35 knots. Seas to 12 feet. 48-hour forecast from 32 north to 41 north, east of 125 west, area of northwest winds 25 to 35 knots. Seas to 11 feet. Synopsis and forecast. Low 50 north, 160 west, 1004 millibars moving east 30 knots. From 41 north to 49 north, between 158 west and 176 west, winds 20 to 30 knots. Seas to 12 feet. 24-hour forecast low 48 north, 142 west, 1009 millibars. From 40 north to 47 north. North to 38 north, west of 175 east, winds to 25 knots. Seas to 10 feet. 24-hour forecast conditions diminished. 80 nautical miles southwest. Coordinated Universal Time, Wednesday, September 13. Warnings.
Monday Night Football.
Enter into
by opportunity at work and the Ad Council.
September on Disney Plus.
Get ready.
The Star Wars series Ahsoka. Disney.
Center all night. The Cowboys deliver a Sunday night smackdown.
Jones throws it out to the left. Fumble! Recovered in the air at the 20. Run into the end zone.
Justin Herbert and Tua Tagovailoa put on a show in Hollywood.
Tua back to throw. Deep downfield. Wide open. Touchdown. Tyreek Hill.
Even without Aaron Rodgers, the Packers still own the Bears.
Snap to left. Dumps it over the middle. Aaron Jones makes the
thinking about that the something behind the seat or something.
how well built they are. Do you think it could handle the vibrations and the jarring of some of the off-roading you do to the hilltops? Would it be able to be okay with that type of stuff? I know, dude, my TS480 is rock solid, man. That thing has been beaten to hell on all my Moab trips and Death Valley trips, all types of crazy roads. Man, that thing is a tank. I'm just kind of curious. I wonder how well the Flex is built.
Probably not as durable as that, but just depends on where you mount it and how it's set up and stuff. But I don't know. Be an interesting experience. You can get the hard rock amplifiers in the 100-watt version. It's in the same case, from what I understand. Double the cost, but nonetheless. Anyway, thought that might be an option to run the Hermes mobile as well, but I don't know. I don't have HF currently in my personal vehicle, and the stuff that I have there, and the state fire truck is the stuff I used to have in my personal vehicle. I just I don't know. I have a really difficult time with the SUV and a big, heavy antenna, the thin sheet metal on these newer cars. It's just not real good to put something like that that's more likely to tear the sheet metal. Even if you reinforce it from the backside with a thicker piece of aluminum or something, it's it's still going to dent and pull and scar the paint and whatever. So about the only option I would have there is to throw one of those stupid what do you call it, Reeves hitch mounts, and have it directly in the back, but then every time you turn a corner, the signal changes. I heard you both ways.
Yeah, you went from S9 to 20 over.
Yeah, what's interesting though is I can barely hear myself and Fallon, so the band is definitely long.
Yeah, it's long for sure. I copy both you guys really good though.
Well, maybe it's just medium, because ordinarily if it goes really long, then I can't hear John at all, and he's booming in here.
Yeah, so there you go, Jeff. Maybe the Flex can be mounted really nice mobile.
Well, that's what I was just saying. The 6300 that I have isn't too bad. The 64 is a tank.
The Hermes Lite is a way to do it. Mobile, that thing would probably do really good.
No, yeah, especially if you got the hard rock with the 100-watt option and you were able to put it someplace where it could breathe and get some air. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of why I've not even hooked the other one up yet. I've just been really enjoying this one. It works exceptionally well. It does what it's supposed to do.
I don't know if you're listening earlier, John, but I talked to a guy on 20 meters that had a Hermes Lite 2 set up in his mobile with a tablet. Sounded really good. Yeah, you had it hooked up to a Zara Midley amplifier, and he had it hooked up to a screwdriver antenna. The screwdriver antenna was all a manual tuning for right now. He didn't really have a good way to automate that, but I'm sure he could figure something out.
Well, it would sure be nice if they came out with something that was better than what the current offerings are, because they're pretty crappy, honestly. Oh, I will say, though, that I was rather impressed. Remember I told you about the 891 and it going deaf? I sent it to Yaesu on Tuesday, and by Thursday I had an inbox notification saying that they had received it and what my ticket number was. So that was pretty good, and that was sent by UPS Ground. That's what I said.
How old's the 891? How long have you had it for?
I've had it for at least 3 years, and I bought it used from a guy in North Carolina, so who knows? But it was a good unit up until that point, but I did have a lot of transmit time on it, and interestingly, I was only running 5 watts, so not like the thing should have gotten terribly hot. So it's very strange that it failed that way. However, it was slightly off frequency, and it was to the point where there was no internal frequency adjustment left, and it was still off frequency. So it's good that it went back so they can fix both.
Yeah, that's cool. Hopefully they'll get it fixed quick and turn around for you, and you'll be able to start using it again.
Well, that was the radio that I was going to take to Bermuda, so I'm kind of glad that it failed now and not while I was there. Otherwise, I'd have been super pissed.
Yeah, could you imagine all that work, and then all of a sudden you get the radio there and it doesn't work?
Oh yeah, Murphy's Law, man.
Anyway, John, I downloaded that skin, and I hooked it up. Everything looks good except for there's a couple blips in it. There's no slider for the tune, and there's some color issues with the zoom. The ZTB button looks messed up, but other than that, it looks pretty cool. I like it. Roger, roger. I'm assuming this was made for the ANAN or something, right?
I gotta run to the other room. I'll be right back. K5 BLS Carson.
All right, man. If I'm not around, I'll catch you tomorrow. You guys have a good evening. N6MUD.